Welcome to Fear No Evil. And the evil I will be speaking about today still are the sexual allegations. In the main media, we have a new candidate, Silicon Valley. And today I also listened to an interview. I can't remember her name or which news channel. I think it was CNN. But they were giving an interview on a woman who had allegations against President Trump. We also know that President Trump has endorsed Roy Moore. There are a lot of allegations still coming out against many people. Now, Roy Moore has denied all of the allegations. And the thing with Roy Moore is that if he's truly a child sexual pedophile, they don't want to stop abusing children. Once someone starts abusing children, they normally don't stop. And we don't know how to make them stop. We can put them on lists, we can supervise them in society, but the truth is, we don't stop that many pedophiles or child molesters in our society. So for Roy Moore and the allegations against him, her statute of limitations has passed. She will never get into a courtroom. She will never be able to really face her perpetrator because the statute of limitations has passed. Now, she may be coming forth with the information now because she may have just remembered. That's very different from someone who's in the workplace who has been sexually harassed. They remember their violation. A lot of sexual abuse survivors don't remember their abuse until they get older. But those who have been harassed in the workplace, they didn't forget their violation or their abuse. They just chose, for whatever reasons they want to give, to not say anything. And as a culture, we really do need to teach women to say something. It's not okay to wait 20 to 30 years to say something. Because all we get is a he said, she said situation. All we get are allegations. Those allegations never become charges. And the media anchors, they are not lawyers and judges. Their news stations are not courtrooms. So the allegations are just that, allegations. And people can make up their minds however they want to, because that's exactly what they are, allegations. And as a survivor, I must say, some women are credible and some women are not. And how offensive it is for these news anchors and for these politicians to come out and say, I believe the women and everything they said is credible. Well, first of all, we haven't heard all the women. And second of all, they're not all credible. So stop trying to sway me and tell me that they're all credible when I don't think that they're all credible. As a childhood sexual abuse survivor, I do not believe that all these women are credible. Some of them are. But again, how are we ever going to know? It's a he said, she said situation. Congress really needs to pass legislation that deals with the statute of limitations with child sexual abuse survivors and for women in the workplace who get harassed. However, these women are high powered women. They are in high positions in society. They make a lot of money. They have a high education. But their sexual maturity is at a very elementary level if they don't feel that they can go to someone or to even a female lawyer and say something. What's really going on is they're afraid to leave to have their jobs taken away from them because these are good jobs. They don't want their reputations marred because they have high education. They have credentials. But that's what it takes for the child who's got to come out. They end up losing their whole family. So the one who's being sexually harassed in the workplace, don't think that your obligation and that your sacrifice is going to be less than the child who's being abused. They lose everything too. So if you're going to say something and empower other women, you need to say it when it's happening and to lose those things that you think are valuable. That's the price that we pay as survivors to come out and say something. We lose our jobs and our reputation. It becomes a sacrifice. So these women did not want to sacrifice what they felt was valuable in order to say something. That is very different than the child sexual abuse survivor who is afraid to say something. Because for the child sexual abuse survivor, the body naturally will shield that child and put in defenses so that child forgets about it and goes on with their life and survives. Two very different situations. And it still all becomes a he said, she said. And no matter how much the news media wants to say that their stories are credible, the reality and the truth of the matter is we will never know. If they never go to court, we will never know. And true survivors come out, especially if they've been in counseling. The counselor should advise them before they come out that you may not get a validation and you may not get an I'm sorry, but you do it to empower yourself and to further your healing and to go on. It doesn't matter if someone believes us or not. All that matters is that we believe ourselves. And for the women that are adult enough to take these jobs and to work around these high-powered men, they need to be taught way before they get out of college that if anyone sexually harasses them or violates them in any way, they need to say something. They need to say something when it's happening. And that's the truth of it. We can't always be victims. We have to teach our daughters to say something. And as far as Silicon Valley is concerned, I'm sure this wasn't just between men and women. I'm sure it included both genders, all sexual orientations. I bet it included all races, different ages. So just because the lawsuit is coming out, men against women, or not, I don't mean to say men against women, but violations between men and women, I'm sure that's just the start of it. I'm sure that wasn't all of it. When you're a sexual abuse survivor, you can see through some of this stuff. And some of the stuff that they're saying is just not valid. And they just can't get away with it. Because sexual violations and sexual child abuse really damages our society. And although they want to politicize it for an agenda, the issue goes much deeper. And the more survivors speak out about it, they will step on the myths that a lot of people are perpetuating right now. And hopefully, people that are being sexually violated in this country will feel an empowerment in order to get themselves out of the situation. Because these women failed them, as far as I'm concerned.